back to Adventures with Bam. I'm Brent Billings.
And I'm Maggie Billings.
And this episode has us discussing the origins of our investments in real estate.
Yeah, refresh my memory. How did this all get started?
Well, I'm not even completely sure that you know this story.
Oh.
So it was August 2016 that Marty and I started the BAML podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So a little over a year into that, Christmas 2017.
Wow. This story does start a lot earlier than I thought.
Well, I guess the true start to our investment in real estate is when we bought our own house that we live in 2014
Sure.
rented out part of it to our friends.
Yeah.
So that was the true beginning.
The best of times.
Yes. I mean this in the sense of buying a property that we don't live in
Right.
to rent out. So Christmas 2017, a little over a year into the BAML podcast, and I'm thinking this is pretty great. What is ever going to come of it? So
Of the podcast.
Yeah.
And you weren't paid at that point.
I was a volunteer at that point. I did not start getting paid until January 2020. So we're a long ways off from that. 2 years, I guess, technically. And I'm listening to a tech podcast, and I think maybe they had a guest on who did real estate investment or something like that, but he also had his own podcast. So I was like, well, this sounds like a good idea. This was at your parents' house when they lived on Friar.
Mm.
And I was, going out for my walks, and I don't know how many days we were there, but I was listening to hours and hours and hours and hours of podcasts, like this one podcast exclusively, all about real estate investing. So I was learning all kinds of things.
I was newly pregnant with Darius.
Yeah. So that was part of it too, is thinking about Darius's future, just all these things that were going on where I was like, the idea of passive income sounded really good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wasn't completely delusional, although I was, apparently somewhat, as history will tell later on. But I liked the idea of the passive income thing and knew that required some work, but also knew I didn't have time to do anything. And so the idea of investing in real estate in Moscow was a bad idea for a lot of reasons. First of all, the real estate here is way more expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not necessarily the best way to get into it.
And has only gotten worse. I mean, in 2017, it was quite a bit lower than it is now, but even then.
Sure. So I was like, I like the idea of something out of state where I can't be involved. I have to hire a property management company. I can't do anything because I don't have time. There was that, and I was trying to figure out how we were going to buy anything, and Detroit ended up being the answer to that because real estate there is very cheap.
Yeah.
Even to this day. And we had been in our house for, I guess, 4 years at that point.
Almost 4.
And so we had built up some equity in the house. We had been paying extra into our principal for, I think, pretty much the whole time up to that point. When Darius was born, I stopped doing that to ease up our budget a little bit.
Diapers.
Yeah, diapers and your loss of income and partial loss of income.
Mm-hmm.
But I was learning about the idea of a home equity line of credit or a HELOC. And I'm like, I think we can do that. So things got busy, and I knew I wanted to learn as much as I could about it before we did anything. A year comes and goes. It's now December 2018. And I'm like, okay, we got to make this happen. Darius was getting to the point where, it wasn't as crazy. And actually, right in the days before or after he was born,
mm-hmm.
we went and did all the paperwork for our HELOC and got that set up.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I don't remember this at all.
I could probably find the paperwork and find out.
Maybe I do. Is that when we went down to Home Street Bank?
Yeah.
I don't remember being super pregnant for that, but I don't know.
I mean, it was literally days before or days after. I can't remember which.
Oh, it wouldn't have been after. I don't think I was.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, no, it might have been after. We might have taken him in the car seat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
but
totally
we did that paperwork. We got that all set up.
Huh.
But I wasn't that was just the first step. Then we had to do all the other stuff. So it wasn't until that was August 2018 that he was born. It wasn't until February 2019 that we actually bought the house in Detroit.
Yes. Never been to Detroit.
Right. Never been to Detroit.
People always say
that's beside the point. We'll get to that in a minute.
Sure.
But I'm just saying at this point, so we're February 2019. If I had been paying really close attention to the Baymon podcast, and if we had actual download numbers and all the stats that I have now, like if we had known all of that stuff, I would have started to see some of the things tick up a little bit at that point. But it was still like very much like, I don't know what's going on here. Like it didn't seem like there was anything happening.
Yeah, it was a new thing.
So I was like, if I can build up enough real estate investments and like become independent, and then I can just do BAME all the time. And, God's like, haha, good job planning that yourself. I have a better idea. Because it was less than a year later that BAME became my full-time job. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the timing was just unfortunate in a lot of ways.
I don't know. I think COVID-wise, the timing was perfect.
Well, yeah. In that sense, yeah, sure. But I don't know. So how much of that did you know?
I remember you like doing a ton of research and learning a lot. And that's, I would say, like very, very standard operating procedure for you when you're thinking about a big decision. I mean, even little decisions, like you read reviews about rakes before you order a rake.
Hey, I want to buy a rake one time.
I know. And I love you for it. That is a feature, capital F feature of yours, that you research the snot out of stuff. So typically when you come to me with things like, I want to invest in real estate, like I don't really have to like dig around at like, well, why is this a good idea? What about this? What about this? Like if you come to me with that, I pretty much know that you've already been asking the questions and you've already been doing the research. I'm not going to do the research. So it was kind of like a good idea. I would, exactly like you said, I am losing some income by not working full time when we had Darius. Passive income is a great idea. And yeah, let's look how cheap houses are in this part of the country. So I remember that. Typically my version of the story is just a lot shorter. People ask me a lot, like, how did you guys even come to have a rental property in Detroit? And I just tell them like Brent wanted to invest in real estate to get some passive income going once we started having kids. And so we bought this place in Detroit in 2019.
And then we'll get into what went wrong in the next episode.